Good evening, guys. So we're on SNRC round 5, Singapore. We've got quite a close battle up top at the minute with Sternface on 92 points, SNRC EXO on 89 points. There's a bit of a gap there to Gadget Grandpa on 55 points. However, from there, quite close, bunched up. We have G-Man, Grief, PDNB, SNRC Reed, Hickey H, and SNRC Rabsy and Dave, all quite closely bunched up together. And then the bottom 8, 10 are quite closely bunched up together, all sort of within sort of touching distance. So anything that happens in this race can majorly affect the standings. Okay, let's see. Let's wait for the first person to come out. See, the track seems quite dry at the minute. It might be raining, I'm not too sure. Can't really see it at the minute. So we can hear some engines starting up. And it's going to be a Ferrari of TFF Ajax coming out. And we've got a McLaren of SNRC Dave out. Got myself a Red Bull coming out of PDNB. So that's 4 people out on track at the minute. And now leaving the pits. Kyron 40 is out. That's 4 cars out of the pits. The other Ferrari of Mini Smoker's now coming out. If Ajax has spun though, that is not good for him. It is dry. Let's give SNRC Dave a bit of a gap. No traffic in front of him. Another few cars coming out. I think we've got the Alpha, yes, SNRC Reed, and the Alpha Tori of Slokona Panda. I think Heisenberg is out as well. I think SNRC Rabsy isn't out. Meat Rumble, Gadget Grandpa, SNRC EXO isn't out yet. Other than that, everyone, and G-Man Glovestar, everyone is more or less out in a minute. Let's come on board with SNRC Dave. Underneath the stand, coming into the last sector. Sector last corner. He's going for it to stay on board with him, see how he gets on this first lap. DRS enabled. Short shifting down to 4th. It was really wide into turn 3. Got the speed part of the trap in the first DRS zone. Speed quickly. 26.991 in sector 1. Actually goes purple because no one else has set a time yet. And I think the Red Bull is coming up next. 27.2. It's just behind him by sort of 3/10 of a second behind the McLaren of SNRC Dave. Very difficult track this. A lot of people are hoping it stays dry. Personal experience, it's a difficult track at the best of times. Once you do nail it though, you really do feel you've achieved a lot. Sections 104.6 in that middle sector as well. Coming in that last sector, he should be looking for a good lap here. Back with PDNB, what's he going on? 105.3, so again going a bit wide there as well. 2 now Heisenberg. SNRC Dave. Come around the corner. Slight cut there, so validated his lap time. 1:37.6. Around PDNB. Cut in the corner there. It's a 1:38.8 first lap. Slight lock up there into that corner. SNRC Dave has pulled out of his lap. SNRC Reed going through under the stadium. Sluggish lap. Stern face with a 1:38.7, so a tenth quicker. SNRC Reed goes in the 1:37.5, so almost a second and a half quicker on the soft, on the harder tyres. Panda coming in with a 1:37.4. Heisenberg 1:36.2. SNRC Dave is going for it, he's not. He's now bunching up with the traffic now, there's a bit of traffic in front of him. Heisenberg with 1:36.2, that's a solid lap there. Now we've got the Renault starting his lap of SNRC Rabsy. See how he goes on. Everyone seems to be short shifting into fourth for that first sequence of corners. So, speed section of the track. First DRS zone. Through that first sector at 1:27.7. Green there. The FFA Jack coming through the first as well. Just keep an eye on these three. Coming in. New Smoke is pulled out of his lap. That's the next big going there. Back on board with SNRC. So slight bump of the wall there. That last couple of corners. Close to the wall, herring down to this last corner. 1:38.8. 36.2, still not touched yet, no one even sort of remotely close. Rabsy gets a 1:47. On into this last sector now. TFFA Jack. Knows very quick from our other league that we've got. Coming through now into the last corner, close to the wall. Fourth on the limiter. 38.2, producing difficult track to try and get a decent time out of. However, Kyron's got second with a 1:36.9. He's the closest one, less than a second, just over half a second away from Rosenberg's time. Second lap. Gadget Grandpa, Fat Butcher Mo, SNRC Dave, Meat Rumble and G-Man Glovester are waiting to set a lap at the minute. Just over halfway of qualifying at the moment. Good times put in, had a few slower ones. Probably just getting a feel for the track, ready for the main hot lap to come in. Bounce. there, have a look at that. Ajax coming for that last sector now. Just enough. Out there. Look quicker now playing DB. 27.0, 2 temps up on his previous best time. So round out. New corner in sector 2, used to be a kind of like an S shape before, now it's just sweeping left. Always used to catch a lot of people out. A lot of accidents there as well. Going underneath the grandstand now. Last corner, coming round into 4th. He goes just above SNRC Lazy. PDNB. PDNB goes third quickest with the 137 naught. Look quicker that lap. I think we're going to see a lot more faster laps now. Going to the left there. Coming in. Going to be. I think he's going to come. I think it'll be sort of. It looks similar to sort of TFFA Jack. Similar sort of one there. Maybe cut the corner there is. Comes 137.4 for SNRC Dave coming around there. 137, 135, 3, sorry. Owner Panda come in and got the quickest lap so far in the Haas. Eisenberg with 136.2, so almost a second he's made up there, just over a second and a half he's made up there. With that, then we've got Kyron, PDNB, I think he has backed out of this lap. SNRC Dave doing the same thing. SNRC Reed in the garage still, Stanface looking to go for a quicker lap. Just start his hot lap. PDNB moving slowly there. Just a tad wide there. These are the nasty sort of 90-degree turns. Down the almost back end straight. Top 3 split up by sort of a second and a half. Top 4 by a second and a half. Top 5 by 2 seconds. The gap is. Mo has retired from the session. What's that all about? I think it's spun. Sternface, see what he's 8 temps up on this lap to his previous lap. He's going to challenge SNRC Reed though. Stan, just a tad more time now and he could jump up into that sort of top 5, top 6 sort of places. Keep it going for now. 4 minutes left to qualify. I see some people potentially waiting for a last guy's dash. Surface does, he does go 6th. 700th. Quicker than SNRC Reed, who's in the pits in a minute. and gloves are coming into the pits. More or less. Coming on his lap. So Sternfeld is top of the championship at 92 points, as I said at the beginning. Close to SNRC EXO, who's currently in 8th place. 3 minutes left of the session. I think some people will be waiting for a last gasp attack. Come out. Same as they can improve in that racing point. Grandpa as well. 14th at the minute. No time set yet from Twisted Welsh, Gadget Grandpa, That Butcher and Meat Rumble. Man glove start again, fairly low. Sternface has got this in his control as it stands. However, he's the only one to do 2 laps on his qualifying tyres. On the softs, that is a bit, might not help him in the race. Might be proven wrong, let's hope so. Well, SNRC EXO is out on the harder tyres. Kyron comes round the last corner. He's going to have an invalidated lap for that. May want to start off a lap. Keeping it neat around that last few corners. Everyone's now coming out, getting a last lap in while they can. A few people just using it as track acclimatisation. Get used to the track again. Reconfigure themselves with braking points and general track layout, where they need to be in and when, what's the best line for them to take. Berg is 600th up on his last time. He is on fresh softs. Be a second up on his best. A bit wide there, but carried a lot of speed in there from Heisenberg. He's just at purple sector 2, very quick there. 3/10 up on what he should be. He's going to be the second driver to get the seat. If he keeps it tied together, I think it will be very close. Last round, oh, he's cut it and then gone wide. About 10th there, just from the corner cut and drifting ever so slightly wide. Maybe a second up. Delta 1.3 now coming through sector 2, just set a purple sector there. You guys jump gonna get third line of the grid, just ahead of Sternface. Maybe ahead of his teammate SNRC Dave as well. It is going to be close. He's kept it nice and tidy through that chicane there, racing down to that last corner. I was in the 136s, he's put it third. He's put his McLaren on third. So a quick breakdown. 135 and first place for Colin the Panda, then Heisenberg, then SNRC EXO, Kyron in 4th, PDMB and the Red Bull in 5th, SNRC Dave, Sternface, SNRC Reed and Ajax all making up the top 9, G-Man Glovestar in the Red Bull completing the top 10, Mini Smoke and SNRC Rabsy making up the rest of the field that set a time. Meat Rumble no time, Bat Butcher Mo no time, Gadget Grandpa and Twisted Welsh all set no times. So we'll wait to see what happens. So let's see how this race pans out. Everyone picking their strategies. I think we're going to have a little break between a qualifying and the race start. The race start being in about sort of 7 minutes time. Right, so with only a few minutes left of the break left over, just go through a few of the last few years' winners. Obviously, last year it was cancelled. The year before that, so the last winner at this track was Vettel in the Ferrari. Previous 2 years by Hamilton in the Mercedes, and then 2016 being Nico Rosberg. Now, obviously, it's a bit mixed and matched at the minute, but I reckon you can expect some exciting racing here from Sternface and SNRC Dave. Obviously, sitting very, very close together on the grid. SNRC EXO putting it a blinding lap in at the last minute to come into third. That'll be putting pressure on Sternface to try and gain some positions to try and keep that lead at the top of the table. Again, Kyron has set a blinding lap as well, so if he keeps it up, he will be jumping a few places, potentially all the way up to sort of 9th, 8th sort of region, potentially more, depending if he keeps it going. We've got Heisenberg again, who's qualified second. He'll be up there as well. He'll be looking to jump up from 12th, just behind Kieran. And yeah, I think there'll be loads of interesting battles here. Like I said, the main one being between sort of Sternface and SNRC EXO. Interesting one to look at, PDNB and SNRC Dave and Kyron. So I think that'll be the battles to watch today. I think driver to watch really potentially TFF Ajax, I think, is place in the league in 18th. Only 13 points. I'm sure he will want to build on that and get a bit further ahead. Start chasing down that mid-table pack in the sort of 20s and 30, 40 point region. Potentially make a last gasp attempt at catching the top 4-5. So I'm sure he'll be looking forward to this race and trying to put a few more points on the board. So we've just had the thumbs up. We are now going into the race. Hopefully, just an important reminder that no race is won at T1. So keep it clean. It is an interesting exit out of the pits as well. So the first set of pit stops should be interesting, because where the pit lane comes out in the middle of that awkward sort of complex of corners of turn 1, 2 and 3. Obviously staying on the sort of left and then all the way to the right onto turn 2, and then cutting back again into turn 3. So we've got ourselves, I think everyone seems to have got off the grid very well. So again, it's Slocum Panda putting in that excellent time of a 1:35.3. So let's see, he has got to keep that pole, get a good start, and he'll be well away. We're just having a look now. Keep it very open, keeping the title race alive there. Sternface, SNRC Reed again will probably drop a few places if he doesn't build on his 8th place. And another interesting one, again a quick consistent driver in Twisted Welsh in the Mercedes. Again, he races very well, and He didn't set a quality time. I believe he may have had a quali ban, so he made the mistake in the rookie era of not putting a setup in before retiring. So he is stuck on a default setup. So it should be quite interesting to see how he manages that setup during sort of first stint of acclimatising to the setup. And Slocum Panda is not hanging about. He wants to get back on that starting grid. And he wants to get on that starting grid and get going. He does not want to be waiting around for long, so he might want to back off just a tad, as the rest are only now coming through the complex, as he is now going through underneath the grandstand. They're only coming around about 2-3 corners behind him. And Neat Rumble, who is last, is and Butcher and SNRC Rabsy. And ever so slow around the sector 2. Don't know whether they're meant to be like that, but they are going awfully slow, and they're only now coming into that last sector where that grandstand is. And Slugoma Panda is on the grid. He is waiting. His tyres are going to be starting to cool down very, very quickly. He's looking for a good start. So as they line up, let's go over the starting grid again. Slugoma Panda, Heisenberg, then SNRC EXO, Kieran in 4th, PDNB in 5th, SNRC Dave just pulling up there, then Sternface, SNRC Reed, TFF Ajax, G-Man Glovester in the Red Bull, making up the top 10. Mini Smoke in the other Ferrari, behind his teammate SNRC Rabsy now coming through. Twisted Welsh in the Mercedes, Gadget Grandpa, Bat Butcher Mo, and Meat Rumble finishes off our drivers today. So let's get see. Kyron has taken 3rd place. Sprint down. Slugoma Panda has cut T2. See, Twisted Welsh has jumped up SNRC. PDNB has jumped up into 4th. SNRC Dave holding his position to Sternface as well. Looking down the list, TFF Ajax has made a place up. Twisted Welsh making 4 places up now after sticking that move on SNRC Reed. Ajax spun. Ajax has spun. He has now lost 7 places. That's not the start he was hoping for. He is the start. Bat Butcher Mo. Meat Rumble's made 2 places. Gadget Grandpa making 1. Twisted Welsh having a blinding start on this stock setup, making up 5 places. Everyone else is as they started. So on the Panda, I think it's pronounced. I don't know how to pronounce that. Might have to give me a hint here. He's pulled up a 1.4 second lead, and there's a second behind Heisenberg to SNRC EXO. Sternface is in 7th, still behind, so he will be losing out a bit on his lead. And, like I said, Ajax now 20 seconds behind the leader. He's going to want to catch up very quickly. So let's have a look. Interval 1:42.8 on the first lap. We'll have a look now. Stay on board with Sternface. Can he catch SNRC Dave? 1.1 seconds behind. Heisenberg is falling behind Panda by. Oh, he's now what? 0.7 seconds behind. Rumble made up 3 places. I think the screen's going a bit. And here we go. Let's have the all going a bit funny. So we know he's first. The screen and the data readings clearly isn't understanding itself. So 1.7 seconds between first and second, then SNRC EXO is 1.4 behind Heisenberg, but he does have Kieran on his gearbox, 1.34 seconds behind. Sternface will want to close that gap up to SNRC Dave, 1.1 seconds behind. Same with Twisted Welsh, he is going to want to close that gap on Sternface, 3.1 seconds behind. Got a bit wide there. He has got SNRC Reed all over his gearbox, half a second behind. Multiple warnings, 3-second time penalty. I'm guessing that is going to be for corner cutting. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, he's had 3 warnings. Now he's got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Heisenberg with 1:41.6. So he is gaining on him slowly but surely, but he'll want to keep it in mind that, you know, there's a long way to go, another 26, 27 laps to go. 28 laps, I believe, sorry. So let's, yeah. Sternface has gone into the wall. He's lost part of his front wing. That's going to affect him massively round here. And he is now losing time to SNRC Dave massively. He is now 4 seconds. SNRC Reed is catching him as well at a rate of knots. Interesting to see what tyres people have started on. Only 3 people with the hard compound tyres on, clearly going to go for a 1 stop in this race. Probably looking to pit sort of lap 20, sort of 19 and 22, I'd say. There's a Bergen Panda on the softs with PDNB and SNRC Dave, as well as Sternface. And then same as G-Man Glovestar. SNRC Rabsy has retired. What's happened there? He's hit the wall. He's hit the wall and had to retire. It's not good for Rabsy. So let's have a look again. So that's 1 person out on the hard tyres. That's 3 left. Two left, sorry. SNRC Dave is in the pits. He's had a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's not what he wants in. SNRC Rabsy is in 9th at the moment. So he's going to lose ground to SNRC Dave, who we've just been on board with. Pit stop for the medium tyres. A few people pitting now as well, including Twisted Welsh, who's now back down into 15th. He is on the medium tyres. A few people have pitted. So, people who are yet to stop. So, Mini Smoke, Twisted Welsh, G-Man, Sternface, SNRC Dave, all have stopped already. TFF Ajax is back up into the points. He has made a great recovery from there. Okay, so looking quite interesting with SNRC being caught again, keeping that sort of half a second between him and Kieran in 4th place. And another one, TFF Ajax catching Gadget Grandpa. Already gained sort of between 1 and 2 tenths with him through that section of corners. Going on a straight, he's going on the left hand side and DRS enabled. However, Gadget Grandpa has not given him much room there to go past, but he has passed. Now he's got 10.7 seconds to make up. Where else is there? Ivan is now fallen back from SNRC EXO. Quite big gaps now, so I'm guessing after the next sort of set of pit stops it might be a bit closer. Heisenberg is catching. He's catching Panda. Has Panda's tyres fallen off? Okay. But he is losing time. He's now within a second. He wants to stay there. Just for the next few corners, keep within that second, get DRS, make a move on Panda. It's all going here. Kyron now less than half a second behind SNRC Dave. Heisenberg again dropped back. Was he in it? Was he in it? He hasn't got DRS, however he has used a bit of overtake down there. Kyron with DRS. Just not close enough there, just not close enough. Heisenberg is, however, gaining on Panda. Remember, Panda has got a 3-second penalty. So let's see how that pans out as it stands. He's going to need to make up a bit more time, however they haven't pitted, remember. And Panda pits from the lead. He pits from the lead. So now that puts SNRC up. Who has Kieran on his gearbox. Again, DRS just doesn't have the legs on the McLaren at the minute. So Panda is the only one to pit. Nice quick easy stop. Going for medium tyres. SNRC Dave. Now catching up Meat Rumble. TFF Ajax has cut that down. Twisted Welsh has retired from the race. Where's that? Into that last sector. Just before going under the grandstand, I think he's hit the barrier. Such a shame. It's normally so consistent. Obviously we're running with a standard setup. Is it not going to help anyone around here? You really need to have a setup that you know and you feel comfortable with. Okay, let's jump back on board. SNRC Exo has been overtaken by Kieran. So, he is now... I think he may have made a mistake somewhere along the line. Safety car is out. Safety car is out. What does this mean then? He's going to bunch the pack up. Safety car is currently just around the corner for T3. I think he's going to catch Mini Smoke and wide. Down that go, he's waiting for the leader. Is this going to be a dash to the pit stops? Heisenberg has pitted, as has Kyron and SNRC. XO, PDNB in the pits as well. SNRC Reed. This would be perfect strategy from Sidcon the Panda. He can get that undertake done. Where is he going to be ahead of them or not? He has gotten past NDB and SNRC Reed. But he is still behind. He's just behind Kyron. But he is ahead of SNRC Exo. So he's made that one well enough. Heisenberg is still ahead though. This should play into the hands. Play into the hands of Bat Butcher Mo, who's on the hards, and Mini Smoke give him a chance to catch up, bunch the pack up again. So Twisted Welsh going out, brought out the safety car. Car isn't coming up on the map now, so we'll wait and see. Everyone's bunched up. Go through the leaderboards now. So Heisenberg, Kyron both pitted once, followed by Panda, who was on pole and led most of the race. However, he didn't quite get the undercut on the two drivers ahead of him. SNRC Exo in 4th, PDNB 5th with SNRC Reed and SNRC Dave behind him in 6th and 7th. The championship leader Sternface in 8th, Bat Butcher Mo in 9th and G-Man Glovestar in 10th. And TFF Ajax in 11th, Gadget Grandpa, Meat Rumble and Mini Smoke all behind. So now they're getting bunched up. Wait and see what is going to happen. Penalty wise, SNRC Dave on 5-second penalty and Zedcon the Panda on a 3-second penalty. So let's just see how this pans out. Safety car. Haven't heard anything, so I'm guessing it will stay out for another lap. Everyone now within sort of a second of each other. Other than Gadget Grandpa, who's now catching up to the pack. The same with Mini Smoke, he's a bit further behind. I don't know what's happened to him. Yeah, everyone has thing, and we haven't had anyone crash under the safety car, which is always a good start. safety car. I don't want anyone getting too close to you. And so let's see how this can pan out. So Heisenberg, if he wins this race, he then edges ever so closer to, if I'm right in thinking, he'll edge closer potentially into the top 8. If he wins this race, he could potentially go into the top 8, but then obviously that depends where everyone else finishes. I reckon he'll get top 10 if he won today. See, this is the league where no matter where you finish, you will get a point of some sort. You get rated on your safety as well. Let's see how it all pans out. It's been a fairly clean race so far. No real anyone getting a bit too close or not leaving anyone space. That's always good to see. So Mini Smoke has now caught up. He was 22 seconds behind, so in the time that I've rabbled on and they've done half a lap, he has caught them. Again, we have got a few people on the hards. I'm guessing they're going to try and go to the end of the race. They might be slower to begin with, but it will save them potentially a few extra seconds at the end of the race when I'm able to stop again. Just had that from race control, safety car in this lap. So Heisenberg is backing them all up, giving the safety car that room, ready to launch when he is ready. So now coming round to go alongside the grandstand before they go under. The safety car's just come round that chicane underneath. Personally, I've never been any good at safety car restarts. I either jump way too early and catch up with the safety car or go into the car ahead of me, or I'm too slow and I lose about 3 places. So it's I enjoy safety cars, but Heisenberg is off. Safety car is in the pits. He's gone. Kieran has stayed with him though. He's closing in on him. Kieran got the better restart there. Is he going on the inside? No, he's not. He's backed out of that. Right, let's see what's going on here now. Panda has got some space, so has PDNB and SNRC Dave. SNRC Exo, SNRC Reed. A bit of a gap there. He didn't get the quicker start, and nor did Bat Butcher Mo by the look at it. TFF Ajax got him to go around the outside there. Let's have a look. Gaining on G-Man Glovester, and G-Man Glovester catching on Bat Butcher Mo. Lining up very nicely in front of TFF Ajax, who we know is very good at overtaking. Mini Smoke keeping up with the pack as well. And is TFF Ajax going to make his move? He's having a look, same as G-Man Glovester. Sternface now behind as well. SNRC Dave, SNRC Reed. SNRC Dave and Sternface having a battle there on 4-lap old mediums, the same as G-Man Glovester. Who is on 4-lap tyres is Bat Butcher Mo. TFF Ajax has gone through. PDMB with a 3-second time penalty. I'm guessing that again is going to be for corner cutting. It's going to be 3 people now with time penalties. Need to make that extra bit of time up and try and pull a gap between them and the car behind. Make it a bit more worthwhile so they're not just getting penalties and losing places. TFF Ajax again just a bit too far over that curb there. 3-second time penalty. Stay on board with him for now. Doesn't look like he is going to be gaining much ground. 6 attempts between them. Gadget Grandpa past Bat Butcher Mo. Was very slow through that straight. I think he may have had a bit of oversteer on that. TFF Ajax, oh, slow collision there with G-Man Glovester's rear left tyre. Got the field PDNB looking at SNRC EXO, looking even a bit further ahead to Panda, seeing if he can get that podium place, which he'll want massively. He is on the quicker tyre. He has penalty as well. Short shifting with the overtake button on. He's looking at that chance. First chance he gets, he's gone tight to the corner there. Slow down, maybe a tad too much more than what he wanted to. SNRC meanwhile wanted to close that gap down on Panda while trying to keep PDNB on behind him, trying to keep him behind him, trying to make sure he doesn't get past so he doesn't lose points. Panda is catching Kieran. Catching him. And Kieran's just had a tiny bit of understeer there, oversteer, sorry. TFF Ajax has got past G-Man Glovester. That's TFF Ajax in 9th. His now next target will be Sternface. He's on the slower tyre, however he is probably going to keep it to a one-stop, try and gain some place, to try and get people on the undercut. He's just clipped that wall. Sternface looking at SNRC Dave, half a second between them, 6/10. Kieran dived into that corner just a bit too hard, had to slow himself down. Actually from colliding with the wall, takes the corner very tight. Got DRS this lap, so is he going to make it count? Panda as well, very close. Is he going to make it count? No. Can't get close enough to make that move. Let's have a look. Sternface. Again, can make that move on SNRC Dave. TFF Ajax needed to catch up without the aid of DRS. Manage his overtake button and his ERS very, very well. And slightly wider, probably committed a bit too much more into that than he wanted to. Panda coming in, the two horses, he's gone past them, and Kieran has let him have it. He is on the slower tyre. He's probably thinking, you know, Panda is gaining on me, I might give him the place and then take him on the strategy wise. So SNRC has just seen that happening. Got Kieran in front of him now. SNRC Reed, PDNB, and then he overtake. However, I think he's just gaining on him, but just hasn't got a straight up acceleration of them medium tyres. Sternface again gaining ever so much on SNRC Dave. TFF Ajax again can't really break that 8-second barrier between him and Sternface. Might just have to play the waiting game on this one. Got G-Man Glovester again staying within a second. He's just in need of opportunity just to get close enough. But Panda has caught Heisenberg. Again, he's on the quicker tyre, but he will need to pit again before the end of the race. He's going to try and risk it. Very aggressively trying to claim that lead back that he got through pole position during quali. As you can see, TFF Ajax take it down, and he's got the quickest lap so far, 1:41.8. Just doing enough in that racing point. Again, going wide into that corner. Allowing Panda to come up on the inside. And run wide again. Again, like I said, he's on the quicker tyre. Made the move. Gone down the inside. very late there to make his move. Have ended horrifically. Meanwhile, Kieran's just behind and watching all this unfold, keeping with them in case any of them make a mistake. Okay, what's this? I see Reed has come off, which gives TFFA Jack. Collide. Sternface has gotten past SNRC Dave. What? No. SNRC Reed. Don't know if he's got any wing damage. No. Where's TFFA Jack? He's only 6 seconds behind now. Something happened there and I think I may have missed it, so keep on board with them. Sternface wanting to chase down PDNB. So, again, Panda gaining on Heisenberg ever so slightly each lap, but he just can't get close enough to make a move that'll stick. Heisenberg knows that this Haas is very quick out of corners and into the corners. So can he make it stick? Again, DRS might just be a bit too far behind. So, back on board now, 2/10 split in a quarter of a second. He's doing well, he's keeping on the racing line and he's not getting seconded to Heisenberg with the toe. And as we look down, Sternface has caught PDNB up. This could be very, very interesting going into the next DRS zone. SNRC Dave has fallen back. SNRC Reed clearly given at large, so SNRC Dave can be put under a bit of pressure. Only thing when you're trying to chase someone down and then all of a sudden the person behind you has caught you, you start forgetting about the person in front because you want to keep your position. So you end up losing more time instead of making ground. It's such a difficult thing to get out of because you want to defend, you don't want to. Sometimes the only way to defend is to attack, and I think SNRC Dave exactly what he's doing. He is on the 9-lap-old mediums. SNRC Reed is on 6-lap-old hards, so I think SNRC Dave knows he's going to need to pit. Yeah, the hards are going to start coming into their own in a minute. Bad Butcher Mo, 13 laps on his. B has again multiple warnings. I'm guessing that is going to be corner cut again, and Sternface has just got past on T1. TFFA Jack coming into the pits, Gadget Grandpa now coming through. Panda coming out again, very, very close racing with these two. SNRC Reed, SNRC Dave going wide there. Back to the battle for the top. There's battles going all over. People are close enough, just not too close to get the aid of DRS. That's also another tricky thing, trying to get yourself close enough so you can get the DRS, but not. You need to get yourself so close before you can actually make it worth your while. So it might take 3-4 laps to get the DRS, but it might take another 3-4 laps to get close enough to make it effective and worthwhile. So again, that depends what strategy you're on, as well as the strategy of the person you're trying to overtake or trying to defend against. If they're a lot quicker than you through one sector, you will know about it. I think that's a slight corner cut again from PDNB. Let's have a look on the race director. Let's have a look. Incidents. Heisenberg has had exceeded track limits. Glovestar had a collision with SNRC Rabsy. Twisted Welsh with Gadget Grandpa and TFF Ajax. That's probably why Ajax got set back a bit. Quite a few again. Panda exceeding track limits quite a few times. Twisted Welsh again, obviously he's out of the race now, same as SNRC Rabsy. Backbutcher Mo has had a couple of warnings as well. So yeah, that is it for that. Pit stop wise, who's had a front wing? Twisted Welsh had a front wing, Sternface had a front wing, Mini Smoke has had one, and so has TFF Ajax. So yeah, we've got quite a few people. No one going on the softs. I think the people on the medium tyres will potentially go on the softs after this. So let's jump back into it. SNRC Dave still behind SNRC Reed. Ajax overtaking his teammate Mini Smoke. He's gained a few more points there. Reed here doing 8 laps. Yes, and people might start coming in on the medium soon after sort of 10-11 laps. Butcher Mo, however, is looking to do a one-stop, and he's done a bad job. I mean, he's not been involved in anything. He's keeping his tyres well. He's running in 14th. You've got to think if this was a full grid of 22 drivers, 14th wouldn't be a bad position to be in on 15-lap old hard tyres. So again, people are sort of building a gap now. The only close ones that were SNRC Dave again losing time. He's lost half a second just while we've been on board with him. His tyres have hit that cliff. SNRC Reed again making up time here. It's 2 tenths just in that corner, 3 tenths now he's gained. Just in the first sector he has made up half a second comfortably. Let's get back on board with Panda, whose tyres are more than likely gonna start falling off as well. If Ajax with a pedal lap 147. Again, that's probably only about 4 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds slower than the qualifying time, so not looking too bad. Not many fast laps. When a fast lap has been put in, they have stayed for quite a few. We've only had 3 so far this race, including the first lap. He's giving Heisenberg an absolute headache, I reckon. But then again, Heisenberg has defended very, very well on them hard tyres. On the slower tyres, just to keep it again. Corner cut there, he's made a bit of time on him. His run down on the pit straight it's long, but it's not quite long enough to what you need. You need to be side by side out of that last corner, and then use DRS to sort of gain part of it. You only gain sort of 1, maybe 2 tenths on that DRS zone on the pit straight, so I think we'll need to get a bit closer through the lap, try and make a move on that around that last corner to get DRS. He's going to need it all over his gearbox. G-Man Glove Star again, multiple warnings, 3 second time penalty, corner cutting I suspect, and Meat Rumble lost a bit of time. What's happening there? Let's have a look at it. Is that a lost wing? He's going to have to be careful. Mini Smoke coming around. He's lost his front wing. He has lost his front wing. I don't know what happened there. I think that was meeting with maybe G-Man Glovester. He's got no damage though, so Sector 2 as well. Meat Rumble, 5 second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Stopped to be fair. No front wing. Hey. Again, not really much happening. SNRC Reed gaining. PDB gaining on Sternface. He's got a second. If he can keep close enough to him, he might have a shot of keeping himself in the DRS zone for the next lap. Panda again out of that first corner, and I'm guessing he's on 6 seconds at the minute. He's on 6 second time penalty, so is PD&B, 6 seconds. 6 seconds for TFFA Jack as well. G-Bag Lobster is on 3 second time penalty. And the other two, so SNRC Dave and Meat Rumble on 5 seconds. So it's a bit... Again, everyone stopped but Bappa Chamo. And TFFA Jack has done 2 stops, same as Mini Smoke. Second one. Gadget Grandpa. I don't know if he just spun or whether he's... Oh, there's no damage from what we can see, so he is still in this race. This battle for 5th. Rather interesting. 3 cars, SNRC Reed, PD&B and Sternface. Oh, I mean there's second and a half between all 3 cars. It'll be very interesting. SNRC Rabs has joined to see what has happened in the race since he retired very early on. So we'll have a look now, see SNRC Dave is in 10th in the table and he's currently 8th. SNRC Reed 7th, just behind PD&B, which he is in the race as well. However, Sternface at the top, so he'll lose a few points to PD&B and SNRC Reed, but they'll lose ultimately points to Kieran and Heisenberg. So let's see how this pans out. They're getting bunched up now. However, SNRC Reed has dropped back a bit. So is that... Oh, he's been overtaken, sorry. PD&B has been overtaken by SNRC Reed, which leaves the door wide open. SNRC Dave speeding in the pit lane again. Not good, not good. He's committed now. They're keeping him there for 5 seconds. He's going for the inters. It is drizzling ever so slightly. He has committed now to them inters. Now, is it gonna get worse? This could mix things up very much so. Singapore is an interesting track anyway in the dry, let alone a bit of rain. Now Sternface coming under attack from SNRC Reed. Going on the inside. How much is it raining? Not a lot at the minute. It's really brave. And SNRC Reed has gone past on the harder tyres. Sternface has 15 lap old medium tyres. They are going to be struggling on the normal track condition, let alone wet tyres. Similar to going ahead. No lap by Kieran, and there's still no way past. No past 14 lap old mediums. I have to give credit where credit is due. That is impressive. 14 lap mediums against 13 laps harder, and he hasn't been any further than 0.6 of a second behind. However, Kieran is biding his time. He knows people are going to be pitting soon. Hopefully he can gain on the pits. TFFA Jack again, 3 second time penalty for corner cutting. Is it worth it? I mean, 3 seconds is a lot of time around here, unless you know you're quick enough to make it up, which TFFA Jack is. However, in a race with, you know, it's a street circuit, so it's tight corners, closed in walls, you know, there's not much space on a lot of places, and not many overtaking opportunities. So out of 3 seconds on top of that, when you're already, you know, sort of down in 9th place, with fresher tyres, granted, however, he hasn't had the best race today. Not from what I've personally seen him anyway. So just staying on board with Kieran. He's taken almost a second out of Panda's gap to him. I think he has stepped it up a gear just to close in a bit. Now, anyone going in the pits? No, top 3. all stay out. RCXO is taken. Got in. Okay, so SNRC Reed. 20 seconds behind now. SNRC Dave, has he committed too early there? No one else is pitting for the intermediate. It can't be that bad. I mean, it is. It could get bad, and you can start seeing it on the track, but it's not heavy. Then again, when you're all, I think everyone other than 2 people, when you're doing sort of 15, 16 laps, a set of mediums especially, and you get a bit of rain, that'll affect it massively, absolutely massively. A slight sort of curb here or a late braking moment here, and you know, you could either be in a wall here with another driver, not just ruin your own race, but ruin someone else's, and you don't want that. Panda tyres have clearly dropped off this lap. He went from less than a second for the last 10-15 after the safety car. Now being 1.5 seconds behind, so he isn't even going to have the aid of DRS. I think they're trying to stretch these softer tyres out. Again, a bit of understeer there. See this lap, should they pit? SNRC Dave has committed early, and it's showing he is as fast on them intermediates, but you're not going to be. No, not pitting. 8 laps to go. They are not pitting. SNRC Dave, only one, taking the gamble. Kieran, 3-second time penalty. Again, corner cut, turn 1. It's a tricky one, but if you get your braking point right and you set yourself right on the track, all the way over to that right hand side, and swing it in, it shouldn't be too bad. And again, 1.5 seconds down on his quickest time, so I don't know whether he will come into pit, but no one else is biting yet, which I think might have SNRC Dave a bit worried. Ryan Glover going around there he's very wobbly. TFFA Jack will not mind that at all. Clearly very slippery under there. He's coming in. Rebound glove start, Meat Rumble speeding in the pit lane. What is going on? What is going on? He's done 3 laps on these. He's paying part of his penalty. G-Man Glove Start has gone for the intermediates, and so has Meat Rumble. People are putting them on now. Oh no, SNRC Dave has not had the... Clearly misses braking point, overshot it. But Jamo has just slowed down though because of it. Fair play to Jamo though, he has done 21 laps on these tyres. Only just started to fall off, so... So the top 2, Panda and Kieran both pit in, or both Hasses. So Kieran is going to hold up Panda. Panda's behind Kieran, so Kieran must have caught him just before the pit stop. SNRC EXO taking it easy, same as Heisenberg. Kieran's going to have a fast outlap here. SNRC Reed coming in. Panda has come in and gone straight out on the mediums again. SNRC Reed now. People are now realising it's a bit slipperier out there than they anticipated. So stern face now coming in. He's going on the inside. Everyone is going on the inside. PDNB is going on the softs. That is very interesting. Everyone here having a different approach. Everyone finding their groove very differently. Sector 2, that was going to be... Heisenberg again 15 seconds ahead. He's 31 seconds ahead of Kieran, his nearest challenger. SNRC EXO done the same amount of laps on him, but 16 seconds behind. He is now coming in. It's weird how everyone is going on different plans. Gadget Grandpa now in as well. Is SNRC EXO going to come in? It's looking quite slippery out there, and them curbs are not going to be nice to go anywhere near. However, people have got different approaches to this. Sector 2 and 3, who is that one? Oh no, Bat Butcher Mo, clearly them hard tyres have really had enough. TRS has now been disabled due to the wet conditions. So, Kieran has taken the lead in the race. Kieran has given Heisenberg an absolute undercut to the max. He has given it large on his out lap, kept consistent, kept it on the track, and has yeah. So everyone, 4 people have pitted onto the inners. So Panda has pitted, but he's gone onto the mediums. PDNB has pitted, but it's on the softs. It just shows there is still grip out there because he is catching those ahead of him ever so slightly. And yeah, Pat Butcher Mo is now pitting on 23 lap old hards. I think he's just pushed them to its limit. CFFA Jack is pitting again. There's no real close battles now. The last, I think it's rain and the wear on the tyres really sort of split people. Whether lapped cars are coming out very quick. It's just a case of they're just not quick anymore, are they? The medium tyres, Panda's probably not done the safest thing there. Lost half a second just in 2 corners. It's not the can't really do much with that. However, Heisenberg is catching Kieran. Panda has hit the wall, I believe. So I'm sorry, that's a medium tyres, mate. You tried committing to something that couldn't happen. He's getting a load of understeer. He's struggling, and he's coming into the pits again, so he's going to lose again more time. He'll probably come out behind Sternface. So that opens the door for SNRC EXO to come third. And that'll put him up the tables ever so slightly. He is currently, find out for yourself, SNRC EXO is in second, 3 points behind the leader of Sternface. This will put him in pole position. Mini Smoke has got, again, I think, a 5-second time penalty there. Virtual safety car. I can't quite work out where that is. So SNRC EXO 3 points behind Sternface. However, he will be getting a podium. So I think that'll be him moving up into first. Gadget Grandpa at 10th. He won't be really making up much ground, and nor will G-Man Glovestar. However, Kieran will probably move from 11th, like I said, up to sort of 6th. Maybe 7th. Obviously I need to do the maths more thoroughly. Then Gadget Grandpa again, drive through penalty, speeding under the virtual safety car. Now that is finished, we will continue racing. Again, there's no real close battles. I mean, the closest is Heisenberg and Kieran. Have a drink there on my zesty beverage. So Heisenberg closing down 2.3 seconds. Let's have a look at Fastest lap, TFF Ajax, 140.7. I don't think that'll be beaten now. The closest to that, 141.606. So almost a whole second quicker. The other racing point. Gadget Grandpa has come in. He is serving his penalty. He's got a 3-second penalty. So as it stands, Kieran will not be winning the race. The gap behind him in Heisenberg is 2.2 seconds. Bat Butcher Mo, again 5-second penalty. He's now, I think, a bit more than a lap down, to say the least. SNRC Dave coming in, 10-second penalty. New wing, new set of inters. This is not what he would have wanted. Really, he's down 5 places where he started. Kieran making up 3 places, however Heisenberg is catching him. Either way, as it stands at the minute, Heisenberg will be winning this race and Kieran in second. See, that's what I mean, it's what I was saying earlier about the corner cutting. If you really, someone's gone off. The Gadget Grandpa again, that is indeed. He's off again, I believe. Either that, or I think he may have been moving over. So, SNRC Reed up 4 places as well. Yeah, like I was saying, if you're corner cutting, okay, it's only 3 seconds. If you're quick enough, you can keep that gap behind you. But from what I gather from this league and the first night of seeing these guys race, and just looking at the tables, it's very close. There is a lot to play for every race, especially with earning points every race as well. That makes a huge difference. But even just corner cutting ever so slightly, that costs you 3 seconds. This now is going to cost, Kieran a win. And the further I look down, it's going to cost Glovestar 8th. Is it worth it? I mean, if I have a look now at the penalties. That might cost him 8th, that might not, I'm trying to think. 3 seconds to put him a second behind. No, I mean, PDNB is going to need to overtake and get at least a 3-second gap, but I don't think that's possible. But whereas Heisenberg, I think he can, he's going to have to give it large and take a couple of risks, maybe take a gamble on some braking zones. But he's taking it down from 2.2 seconds behind to 1.4, which is, always a bonus when you can take someone down that much. But it's all about consistency. If he can consistently take him down, he's in with a chance. If he's every other lap taking time off and then putting it back on, it's not going to be good for him. Like I said, Singapore's a tough track, but they need to really sort of go for it. You need to be fully committed, because if you're not committed to a corner or to a braking zone, likelihood is you're going to hit a wall, and that's going to be it. TFF Ajax again, 12 seconds worth of penalties. He does need to be careful if he gets, even if he gets another 2 penalties, it's going to be very close between him and G-Man Glovester. So he really does need to be really careful. So Heisenberg now less than a second behind Kieran. I have to say, I have thoroughly enjoyed watching Heisenberg. He's been very consistent on this race, especially. He's on a lap newer tyre, 2 laps to go, 2.5 laps to go, I should say. Everyone else has got sort of 10 seconds between them. Everyone, so 2 stop-wise. Almost all of them, really. Mini Smoke 3 stops, SNRC Dave 3 stops. Have a look, Pond D&B 3 stops. TFF Ajax 3 stops. And SZ Con the Panda, 3 stops. Top 4 all 2 stops. But, yeah, this is going to get very, very interesting. Looking at it now, P&DB. I mean, if I was him, I'd just keep position. I wouldn't keep with him, but keep position, because if he makes a mistake, he will ultimately pay for it. However, he is your teammate. You know, you both need to finish to get points for the constructors, but you are gaining on him. So, you know, is it... if it was down to the last lap, you know, yes, fully send it. But obviously, keep your teammate in the race as well. I don't want to do anything stupid. He did, but get a 3-second time penalty. What is that now? That is 9 seconds. So he's not gonna. He has to overtake him really, but he's got to gain what 4.5 seconds a lap now to even stand a chance at finishing 8th. You know, like I said, corner cutting, it's so easily done. Is it worth doing? No. You know, I mean, they are in 8th and 9th, and they're only 2 corners ahead. They'll be at one end of the straight as first and second come round. You know, corner cutting, that puts you a lot further behind. It's not worth it. Yeah, looking ahead this season, obviously had Singapore. This is round 5. Next up on the calendar is Bahrain. I mean, consistency-wise, we have to look at Gadget Grandpa. In the first sort of 4 races, going through Russia, qualifying 4th in Russia, 4th in Vietnam, 3rd in Vietnam, sorry, 2nd in Belgium. Overtook a hit and was in 9th in Australia. Finishing wise, again, DNF in Russia. You know, start of the season, it's not what you want, it's not ideal. However, he made a comeback and was in 8th in Vietnam, 4th in Belgium, and 5th in Australia. Sternface, he seems to be one of them who, a bit similar to me, hasn't got the qualifying pace, but my God, does he have the race pace? Qualifying as 6th and then finishing 4th in Russia, qualifying 5th, finishing 3rd in Vietnam, qualifying 10th, making up 7 places throughout the race in Belgium, and coming home to the 3rd place again. So there's 2 podiums. And on Australia, he had clearly the race of his life, qualifying 16th, finishing in 4th. Obviously, I don't know what happened exactly in them races. I've just got stats, and you know, he's got 12 safety points, so he's clearly a very clean racer at the same time. So he's going to be losing part of his lead. Kieran will be closing him down. So last lap, anything can come of this. P&DB has overtaken G-Man Glovester and has opened up a 2-second gap. So he's got 4 seconds to make up. 4 seconds to make up. If he can pull out the next lap and a half. I mean, there they are now on screen while we're on board with Kieran and Heisenberg. Heisenberg has got the right idea. He's just sat behind. He knows Kieran has got... Who was that? Who was that? P&DB has hit the wall, I believe. Let's have a look. Too far there. Yeah, he's clearly gone too far. Outbraked himself. And he's ended up in the same position he was. So that's not good. But good news is he will be finishing the race. Again, picking up some points for that Constructors' Championship. As I was saying, Heisenberg has done the right thing in my book. I mean, put a bit of pressure on Kieran just in case you can win the race without it coming down to penalties. However, he has stayed close enough to put that pressure on, but he's far enough behind to not do anything stupid. Have a bit of leeway in case he does outbrake himself or he doesn't have grip coming out of the corner. He's not risking taking out another driver, which is always a good sportsman thing to do. So PD&B is clearly very quick around here, even in the wet. They had a bit of a confidence knock, I think, with that spin. As we come into that last section, coming around that last corner in Singapore on the last lap, Kieran crosses the line first, whether Heisenberg comes in first place, Kieran in second place, Now we're just going to wait and move down the list with times. SNRC EXO taking up that last podium place, unless something very dramatic happens, in which Gmail Glovestar has finished in 8th, PDB in 9th, SNRC EXO in 3rd, and are now coming through there. Coming around the chicane, coming up to the last corner. Bat Butcher Mo again, another 3-second time. That's 8 seconds he's built up. And he did get himself out of the penalty position. So, stern face. SNRC Reed all over his gearbox. Is this going to be... They're coming through the final sector now. The last couple of chicanes under the grandstand. Fireworks are going mental. Absolutely mental. One thing I do like about Singapore, the fireworks are amazing. Love a good firework. Now he's going to have to give it large. He's going to have to put some pressure on Sternface to really... SNRC Dave again, another 5-second penalty. And Bat Butcher Mo again, unserved penalty, another 5 seconds on top. Sternface just keeps it ahead of SNRC Reed. TFF Ajax coming in. Race control has enabled DRS as well, which is always good to know when there's no more racing and everyone's on it in the media. It's always good. Must mean the track has dried out. That could have been interesting to watch. So I mean, me personally, just having a look. Having a look, I want to say my driver of the day, just pure consistency and enjoying to watch. I would have to say Heisenberg. Kieran was very close up there, but again, he'd done his thing. Driver of the day by the game was TFF Ajax. Again, he had a really good race. With all the setbacks he was given, he drove really, really well. So that is it. We will have a look. Now, Heisenberg in first. Kieran in second and SNRC EXO in third. That is a good result all round for all three drivers. Picking up more points, gaining on the leaders. Like I said, that was SNRC round 5 in Singapore. Quickest lap, TFF Ajax, and he also got driver of the day on a 3-stop strategy. He was 2 minutes behind the race leader, however he did finish with 12-second penalties. Not the best, however, out of the 16 races we did only lose 3. Again, we lost Meat Rumble late on. Twisted Welsh, he did manage 1 stop and 1:46.6 his quickest time. He was on a standard strategy. He didn't able to do that. He obviously had a quali ban, I believe. And SNRC Ramsey, he was out on lap 1, I believe. So let's have a look at the incidents now. Yeah, Ramsey again, collision with Glovestar, a Twisted Welsh with Grandpa and TFF Ajax. All these warnings. We're just gonna have a look down at the bottom. So there was a lot, but nothing. A few people crossing the pit lane exit line on the way out. Again, unserved penalty to Bat Butcher Mo, Mini Smoke, and SNRC Dave. All picked up another 5 seconds there. And like I said, you know, quite a few front wings as well. We've got 6 seconds left. Yeah, that probably ruined SNRC Dave and SNRC Reed's race. Having a front wing replacement on, you know, the last couple of laps. Within the last 10 laps, if you've got a pit and you know, you've just had new tyres on for a front wing around here, that really does ruin your race. But yeah, that's been SNRC round 5 in Singapore. I've been TheLazyBarman. Thank you very much, and we'll tune in next week where I'll be asking you guys some questions, and I may even bring along a special guest. Like I said, thank you very much, guys, and peace out.